I give it all. All that I got will never stop. I give it all. Straight to the top, will never front. I give it all. All that I have, I let it be. Cause nobody's better than me. What do you see? Give it all. Yeah, all that I got, I give it everything. They lost the plot, they think I'm menacing. They wanna talk, but I ain't settling. Circle is tight, feeling like better rings. Whole lot of glow trying, man, they don't know nada. Bro, gotta show something to me and go harder. So proper, nah, not that, we sure gotta give it all raw, man, like God got us. All that I got will never stop. I give it all. Straight to the top, will never fly. I give it all. They want me rock, I never blow. I give it all. Whoa, what you say, my man? Give it all. Whoa, hey, give it all, give it all. Whoa, yeah, stand tall, give it all. All that I have, I let it be. Cause nobody's better than me. What do you see? Give it all. What do you think when people look at me? 100 degrees tougher than Booker T. Couldn't agree more, but could it be? I think higher than them all. Truthfully, my pen fire and then some. A body addendum. Take this whole thing for ransom. Give it all I got for attention. Nah, the mention of life well lived, for instance. Give it all.
Battle the kid is white flags. Not on my level where I stand. Got it, I'm shooting a hot hand. Out of the gym, I was locked out. I failed, the kid was a dropout. I changed the game and it's up now. The city that need me is clear now. The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the
Sandman, I can tap dance through the energy blast. Run flat, never pop your orbit. I keep energy in storage. I see spinning the globe, my fingertip itch. If I could pluck the earthquake hit, look at the wrist, look at your body, I shake it and shift. Big fish in a small pond, Godzilla with a boot on. I step into your lawn, turn skyscrapers into croutons. Hit the button going high speed, need a megaphone to announce me. I move through the pygmies in the top pick, gotta pick fleas. Sit back, better breathe deep. Look around and they looking at me. 10 toes still never defeat. Push button never needed a key. I see they ain't ready for me. Hot boy still 100 degrees. I cross eyes and I dotted the T's. E&D till I leave in peace.
The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, our caring professionals are ready to serve you with personally tailored services designed to meet the unique needs of each individual. When we take on a patient at Avita Home Health and Hospice, they really do feel like family. So when we take care of our family, we want to take care of the whole person. So we take care of them from our nurses, our aides, our physical, occupational, and speech therapists, but we also have people that tend to their hearts. So we have social workers, we have chaplains, and people that can help with the emotional side of their care.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, we have a dedicated team that takes care of you. Caring for the whole person is our promise to you. From social and emotional well-being to the way the patient relates to their loved ones, we treat your family like our family.
Serving patients and their families wherever they call home, including assisted living facilities and nursing homes. Call 1-800-4NURSES to see if Avita can help administer your plan of custom care.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Let's go.
Northmor Golden Knights are locked and cocked and ready to roll. They're 10-0, coming out at 7-0 in the K-MAC. And Caldwell at their mark. Oh, excuse me, they are 15-2. I apologize.
Small details.
Small details, but still, Caldwell coming in at 5-5, 3-4 in the OVAC. And you look at this Northmor team we've seen once already before. They are just locked. They are so loaded on the offensive front. You have an all-Ohio returner in A.J. Bauer slinging the rock, a two-headed monster in the backfield, and he has just got all sorts of options on the outside.
Well, that's what we noticed. You know, we saw him week one, and I went back and people were like, "So what do you think?" And I said, "That Northmor team is really, really good." I go, they will definitely be in the playoffs. And I said then, they hadn't won a K-MAC title since the early 80s. But I said, I cannot see somebody beating them in that league. I mean, that's how good that football team is this year. I go, they have brought everybody back. They've got this quarterback who's a stud. He hits everybody, and he's got 3 receivers out there who would be #1 receivers on basically every other team in the area. He's got the 2 great running backs. I'm like, offensively, they just put up tons of points. And then on the defensive side of the football, they play pretty strong there too. And they proved it throughout the season. They only had 2 moderately competitive games throughout the year. Everything else was pretty much a blowout.
Yeah, you talk about how these guys can score points. They've outscored opponents 395 to 79 this year.
Right.
And that's A.J. Bauer, 6'1", 175-pound senior quarterback. Will sit in that pocket. He has a lot of time to throw, and he will sling it on the outside to his, Jack Swanger, Bo Landon. These kids can make plays not only in traffic but in open space. They're yards after catch. They're big play guys.
Well, the part of it is when you look at it. All right, this is the most crazy stat of it all when you realize all of these guys catch a lot of passes or catch a good amount of passes, but Wenger and Landon both average 25 yards a catch, and Cohen Becker averages 18 yards a catch. So it's not like, oh, they're just throwing balls in the flat and they're just doing, 5-yard passes. No, he's looking downfield because that means the line in front of him gives him time, and he's chucking it deep.
Absolutely. Getting set for Week 11 here in Northmor. The Northmor Golden Knights and the Caldwell Redskins getting set here for playoff on WQEL 92.7 FM in the OH.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
Northmor Golden Knights and the Caldwell Redskins. Josh Stallings, Jeff Roberts with you here from Northmor High School as the 2 takes on the 15 here in Week 11. And Jeff, we've touched on Northmor and how good they are, as we will get to that more and more throughout the game and see this offense unfold. But these Caldwell Redskins, they're a team with playoff experience. They went to the state Final Four last year in Division 7. Now they are in Division 6, but they've lost a lot. They lost a quarterback. That record comes down to 5-5, but they're not the team that they were like a year ago.
No, I think, I was looking at a lot of information about them and I was trying to learn about them before the game, and they came into the season with real high hopes and optimism. They were graduating an All-Ohio quarterback, but I think they felt pretty good about the kid who was taking over for him at the quarterback position. We're going to talk about him in a little bit. But generally speaking, I mean, it was a tough year. I mean, the numbers are low on the team. I mean, they've only got about 23 players on it. They snuck out a 5-5 record, but don't overlook the 5-5 record too much, because you have a team that has got playoff experience. Like you said, won a lot of games last year before they finally got knocked out pretty deep in the playoffs. Like you said, get to the state Final Four. But also, this is a team who beat two other very good teams this year, Waterford and Fort Fry. Those teams are 8-2, 7-3. They're in this same region. That's the 4 seed and the 5 seed in this region. This team beat them both. So even though they're the 15 seed, they've got some quality wins throughout this season. So if they're playing their game and they're doing things well, they're not an easy matchup for round 1.
It's a much smaller roster than what we look at with Northmor, but certainly, as we know, these kids can play football and line up and smash pads with the best of them, as you should say. And you talk about Ethan Kroc, their standout senior. He's going to be the guy running this offense.
Yes, absolutely. He's going to be he's the guy who took over at the quarterback position for them, was a starting middle linebacker a year ago. Still a solid defensive player on the linebacker position. We're going to hear his name a lot. But on offense, he's running the show now. He's the senior back there. He's got a very good running back behind him in Gavin Lake as well. And then he's got some quality receivers that he can get the ball out to. But this game is ultimately going to come down to, for Caldwell, their ability to run the football, keep Northmor off the field. They don't want to get into a slinging gun show with Northmor. I don't think anybody does, quite honestly. And if they can just run the football, play a good, solid football game, keep things kind of dirty and nasty, and just kind of rely on Kroc, rely on Lake, the running back, and just sort of kind of control that clock, I think they've got a pretty darn good shot in this football game. But without it, it could be a long night there for the Redskins.
Well, it will be Northmor ball to start this ball game as Caldwell deferred to the second half. Northmor, they're going to come out. Actually, we'll take a quick timeout. We'll be back on WQEL in the OH. I apologize.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
More than Crown, we are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today, the better way to service.
We're set now, so
playoff football here on WQEL and live online on the OH Report. Northmor taking on the Caldwell Redskins here in Week 11, and of course, with more high school football on the docket, that means Davy Jones back at station control, getting set for another edition of the Friday Night Phone Board. So stay tuned. Call up Davy after the game. A lot of great playoff games in the area. We'll touch on that throughout the broadcast. But, I mean, we got 8 local teams. I mean, you're talking Crestline, Gallion, Northmor, Seneca East, Mohawk. I mean,
thanks OHSAA for 16 teams making the playoffs.
All sorts of local teams, and if you are a football fan, you find it right here on WQEL and the OH Report. As Northmor comes onto the field, the fans on their feet, and, you know, it's a cool November evening on the first day of November, but this is football weather.
Oh,
right
this
here.
is absolutely. I mean, you know, we were even as we were walking in, we are like, man, it is a little chilly tonight, and that makes you feel like, yeah, okay, we're ready. And it's kind of perfect because while the wind was blowing a little bit earlier, it's not blowing like in the last couple of days around here. It's been swirling and whipping, and I was like, if it's going to be like this on a Friday night, it's not going to be fun, especially for a Northmor team that likes to throw the football a lot.
Right.
But you know, it's calmed down a little bit. There's a little wind, not that much. It's really just going to be a chilly, crisp night and a good night for some high school football right here on WQEL and the OH Report.
This is the Burkhardt Farm Center Game of the Week on WQEL and the OH. And over on WBCO tonight, Jared Moore and Tim Byrie bringing you Ottawa Glandorf and the Galleon Tigers. OG is coming in at 5-5, Galleon at 7-3. The Tigers are hosting, but that's a quality OG program.
Yep.
Hopefully the Galleon Tigers can get it done and make it to Week 12. Of course, you can find that over on WBCO and all the final scores and numbers inside the Friday phone board with Davey Jones.
As we you know, just do one more spotlight here on the game tonight, we were talking about A.J. Bauer. The stats on him on the season has just been absolutely amazing.
Unbelievable.
Like, you know what? I think one of the things, you know, it's 25 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. You know, like he's first team All K-MAC. He's going to be All State.
Second year in a row.
He's going to be an All State player. But the thing that really jumped out to me is he completed like 90% or 90 passes, 94 passes on the season. But he had 1,891 yards. He's basically averaging 20 yards a completion. Like I said moments ago when I was talking about Landon, Wenger, Becker, these guys all are downfield threats. He is not looking for little dump-off passes and making it short. He's always looking for the big play, and he is completing 70% of his passes. So even though the fact that he wants to throw it deep, he completes most of it. So that's really such a great reflection of the fact that the line in front of him gives him all day to be able to throw it. And if they can just kind of keep up the momentum in which they've played throughout the season, I think they got a nice little run in front of them in the playoffs coming up here this offseason as we move, not in the offseason, but in the second season into the postseason here.
Getting set for Week 11 here on WQEL in Northmor. Now Northmor back deep is Cohen Becker, and you got to watch out for Becker because he has taken one to the house this year, averaging 30 yards per kick return. And also deep is Jackson Wanger. Kicking off for the Redskins is number 3, Chaz Petfer. Petfer on the right hash, going to send it high in the air, near side. It's going to be fielded on a hop. No, actually, he's going to cover it up at the 16-yard line. That was
Wanger.
That was Wanger.
Took a wicked little bounce on him. It was a high, shorter kick. Winger
didn't
kind
make
of
much of an effort to come up and grab it.
I think he thought it was going to give him a hop, and he would just pick it up on a one hop towards him. But it shot sideways, and at that point in time, he was just sort of kind of like, all right, well, I'm going to just have to jump on top of this ball. And it did not exactly give Northmor great field position for their first drive.
Their own 17-yard line. The spread offense out onto the field, led by A.J. Bauer, the two-time All-K-MAC player. And he's going to spread it out. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. First play from scrimmage for Northmor. They're going to actually change it up. Checking the sideline. Bauer's going to take his time. Play clock down to 12. Now he's set and ready. Has the snap, wants to throw. 4-man rush from the Redskins. Going to air it out on first down, near side. Puts it in a bucket. Completes it to Bo Landon, and they're just streaking on the first play from scrimmage. They love that man-to-man coverage on the outside, and Bo Landon says, I got you first down right here.
You know, that was one of those where the Redskins got to be looking at it going, are you kidding me? Like, first play of the game, you just don't waste any time. Yeah, he sees man coverage, and he knows my guy's going to get a step or two, and then that's all I need. I'll just drop it right to him.
Tight end in a slot left. He's in the gun again. This time going to hand it off, and it was Cohen Becker, the ball carrier. First ball for Becker tonight.
Maybe a gain of a half yard. Not a lot there as they're doing a nice job in the front four. Obviously, that's what Caldwell's going to have to rely on. They need basically all the other 7 guys to be dropping back in coverage. So those front 4 got to take care of the running game against Northmor.
Becker and Wanger wide left. Now they're going to motion to trips on the right side. Tight end left. Back in the backfield. Now he's going to sprint out and fling the bubble screen. Caldwell, oh, he missed it. but he's still able to bring him down. He caught enough of him to knock him off balance and make the play. I think that was 12, John Up Morocco, coming up and making the stick. Gets credit for that tackle.
Yeah, that was a very
loss of 2 on that play.
Well played, because you know what? The defense on that one, it's just a simple screen pass. He has to just read it, and he did.
It's Becker again. This time, maybe gets back to the original line of scrimmage for a gain of 2. But it is now 4th and 10 after the big play on first down. They're going to send the punt team out inside Redskin territory at the 48. They're going to try and pin them deep.
Being at a 4th and 10, I mean, they are in Caldwell territory, but just barely. And I think they don't want to really give them the short field position and give them that early confidence as well. So they're just punted away.
Pretty good punt. It is going to be fielded at the 15, hit and dropped immediately. Was number 10, Brody Chandler. Okay, yes. We did have a number change on Chandler.
Got a few guys out there with Caldwell with different jerseys here than what they were provided, but we'll see what Ethan Kroc does at that quarterback position as he brings it out against this Northmor defense that has been very solid, very bendy, but doesn't always break very much. They don't always have a lot of interceptions or big plays. They just play good, solid defense.
They certainly have a couple game records. We'll touch on them here in just a moment. But in the gun is Ethan Kroc. Kroc going to take it. And a straight quarterback keeper trying to bounce it outside. I think somebody got a handful of face mask.
Yep.
It was 12. Garrett Deesh got a big chunk of the face mask of Ethan Kroc or horse collar. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
But it's going to be a penalty on Colonel Crawford.
Yep, face mask, you're right. And
15 yards. Easy call for the official.
And it was, a 2-yard loss. I mean, they had him kind of dead to rights. Very good defense being shown right there by Northmor. But, you reach out and you're trying to make a big play early on. And Northmor makes the little mistake, and that's going to give Caldwell the 15 free yards and a first down.
Talk about this Northmor defense, who's only allowed 79 points on the season. That's less than 8 per game. Guys like Ashton Clark can wreck a game, as we see Northmor snap it. Croc's going to keep it again and sprint right to the right and nowhere to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Deesh actually comes through that time, and he does a good solid tackle. I mean, he's clearly running at Kroc man-to-man. Like, he's running right through the line. And he's just playing Kroc as a runner, as a running quarterback. And he hits him in the backfield, kind of just slows down the momentum, doesn't get him down all the way, but he basically just becomes a man battle, and then his friends come over to help bring Kroc down for a 2-yard loss.
Slot back right, one back in the backfield, and again, straight keeper, right side, and met by a bunch of Northmor hats. Short gain again. Probably the best of the day at 4 yards.
I actually really like the design of the play. They bring the wing around over, just kind of doing, jet sweep. They fake the handoff to him, but he goes as a lead blocker. They've got a running back over there, and they've got another puller. So they've got 3 lead blockers in front of Kroc there. He just, I was like, oh, if these guys all get a hat on somebody, he's going to have some space, but Northmor flowed to the ball really well.
Doubles formation with a slot back left. Empty backfield for Kroc. Has it on 3rd and long. Quick screen near side, incomplete. He was looking for Gavin Leake in the slot.
Yep.
And just nothing going. And a quick 3 and out here for the Caldwell Redskins.
Quite honestly, I think if he gets it, there's maybe a chance he's going to have some good downfield blocking. But a lot of the defensive linemen for Northmor really did overrun that play. There was going to be some space there for him if he could have put the ball on the mark.
Kroc will punt, and it might have got deflected, but definitely blocked by a lineman, and it's going to take a Redskin roll, but it's going to be down at the 49-yard line of the Redskins.
Yep.
I don't know if the initial...
It was just so low.
If that was Deesh again, who we was going to talk about, he can wreck a defense just like Ashton Clark. I think he might have got a hand on it, and it sent that punch straight at the lineman, deflected into the air, and now Northmor again with great field position inside Redskins territory.
Yeah, that works out great. I mean, again, basically where their drive just stalled on their first offensive drive is where they're basically going to start this one. That one was at the 48. They're at the 49 right now. Second drive of the game, they're going to be in Caldwell territory already. So good way to start things for the Golden Knights.
Becker in the offense onto the field. Or excuse me, Bauer in the offense. Becker's also out there in a slot. He's going to hand off. Carrying the football is Carson Campbell. And Campbell pushes his way maybe for a yard. A lot of hats in there. It was 68. Dalton Egnott on the tackle. A couple other Redskins in there. No huddle offense for Northmor.
Yeah, Charles Gessel, their defensive tackle, got in the backfield right away. He just couldn't bring him down, but he slowed down that play a lot.
Bauer wants to throw. Near
Nice
side.
pass.
Pass is complete.
Perfect.
Open space. He gets down to the 32-yard line, and that was Bo Landon again. And Bo was all alone.
Yeah.
Just found that soft spot in the defense just beyond the flats. The outside linebacker came to the flats with Cohen Becker, and then Landon just able to find that soft spot in the defense, connects for a first down.
They'll go for the handoff this time. Got
time.
space.
Good hole on the left side, and driving his feet forward inside the 30 was Campbell. Campbell going to pick up about 5 or 6. Call it 6 here and set him up 2nd and 4. They are driving at the 26-yard line of the Redskins. Bauer in a gun, back on his right, trips to his right side. Wants to throw again.
Got him.
Wide open on the seam route. Complete. Jackson Wanger, he hits him in the numbers, and there was nobody in the same area code as Wanger on that one.
Easy touchdown right there. Just got through it. You know, you and I have joked before. I'm going to do a little movie reference here that, some listeners won't get. But if you ever see the movie Wedding Crashers, there's a line in it where Vince Vaughn says, I was first team I'll make it rain out here. And I feel like
put it
that's
wherever
what
you want.
I'll put the ball wherever you want it. Like, I feel like that's what I'm watching A.J. Bauer doing. He's just like, I'll just sit back here. I'll put the ball wherever I want to put it. It doesn't
So
matter.
nonchalant.
So easy for him. Easy 6 points right there for Northmor.
And now he comes out and he is going to attempt the extra point. It is a beaut, and it is good. With 7:21 to go in the first quarter. Northmor over Caldwell, 7-0. We'll be back.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Jeff Roberts with you here inside the first quarter from Northmor. 7:21 to go in that opening period, and Northmor leads 7-0. Back deep is Chaz Peffer and Brody Chandler. Kicking off for Northmor is A.J. Bauer. Bauer with a good leg, sends a liner and kind of a knuckleball downfield. It's going to bounce, then bounce over his head, picked up a yard deep in the end zone.
Nope.
He's hit at the 5, gets over the 7, and down at the 8.
Oh, terrible. Didn't work out for Brody Chandler there at all. I mean, he just, was kind of just waiting for the ball to come to him. And, like you said, just like, a bouncer in the infield in baseball. Right when he got in front of it, just popped right up and right over his head. And then he was kind of just in this chase mode. By the time he pulled it down and started running upfield, he's out to the 10-yard line. But the officials are talking it over. They're like, the ball went into the end zone, so does that mean it's a dead play?
Did he touch it before?
Or did he touch it ahead of time? I mean, there's a lot of conversation up there. And they are setting it down at the 8-yard line for Caldwell. Not good news for them to start this drive.
Great kick coverage there, but yeah, Chandler listed at 5'10", maybe with cleats on concrete. That just bounced right over his head. He had no chance.
Yep, they went 3 and out their first time. See if Caldwell can get some things going here on their second drive of the game.
Croc with a fullback and a halfback to his left, but I think we have a false start.
It is.
Slot
it's on the
receiver
Redskins.
Was leaning.
Yep, I could see, Northmor.
It's going to be half the distance to the goal, and Caldwell, they're already down 7-0, and now backs against the wall at the 3.5-yard line.
William Sears, their cornerback, who's right next to that official, started clapping. He saw it. He's like, yep, you saw what I saw, official, so we'll move him back, like you said, 4 yards on that penalty.
at the 4. Croc in a gun, 2 yards deep in his end zone. Going to hand off to the back, straight ahead on the ISO play. That is Leak. And Leak gets over the 5, maybe the 6-yard line. Brought down again. In on the mix was Deesh. A couple other big hats.
Yep.
73, Vance Johnson.
Yeah, you mentioned Deesh. I mean, Goldbach, Deesh, Ashton Clark. I mean, those guys had a lot of tackles for losses this year, and they got him in the backfield. That is that's going to be a tackle for loss. They tried to do the sweep end around right there. They went with Aiden Bender, and it got him nowhere.
Bender trying to stretch it out off that left tackle, nowhere to go. Ball spotted at the 9-yard line, 3rd and 9, or excuse me, 3rd and 13.
Yep. Probably they got 2 yards in the first play. That one they lost the yard.
Yep.
So going to be tough here for Caldwell as they're sitting here at their quarterbacks in his end zone. And how aggressive do they want to be when you're trying to throw the ball from that area?
The back is Leak. He'll vacate. Now Croc wants to throw, rolling right, looking right, going to lob it up, incomplete, nobody home. Yep. Kind of in no man's land.
Yeah, he's looking for Bender, and Bender does have a little bit of space. He did kind of fall into a soft zone there in the defense. Ball would have had to be put right on the spot, and they probably would have been pretty close to a first down, but he overthrew him a little bit, and now the Redskins are going to have to punt from the back of their own end zone here.
If you're Northmor early on in the game, you're looking at great field position, come after it.
Oh, absolutely.
Why not? Croc will punt it, and he gets it off, but not a good one. It's going to hit at the 25, get over the 30, and die about the 33-yard line. So Ethan Croc could not get a good punt off.
Yep. Basically, that was just one of those. You see it. It almost looks like he went off of his shin, not off the foot.
Well, he seemed like he rushed it.
Yes, he was. He was just rushing it, and with that, he was trying to move too quickly. It didn't work out very well. So a simple case. They're going to park at the 34-yard line. So for things, the Golden Knights, things are going very, very well here early in their first playoff game of the season.
Already well into Redskin territory at the 34-yard line. A.J. Bauer alone in the backfield. They're going to spread it out here on 1st and 10. 3 right, 2 to the left. Wants to throw, fakes the bubble, comes back left side, now up in the pocket. Bauer tucks it, pumps it, want to run it. Up the sideline, left side, and into the Caldwell bench. What a heady play by the senior quarterback. Had tons of time.
Yep.
Had 5 guys downfield. I'm not panicking. I'm just going to step up in the pocket, look again. That wasn't there. I'm going to keep my feet. Positive play at a first down.
Yeah, his line does such a great job of, giving him that semicircle. But once he was like, I don't really have anything good. He stepped up in the pocket, was still looking downfield. So his pump fake as he started running kind of froze the defense.
Throws a quick slant. Far side pass complete. Inside the 10-yard line goes Wanger. And Caldwell, their defensive scheme pass-wise, there's just nobody that can handle these guys.
Well, I don't think a lot of teams, have the type of athletes necessary to be able to cover what Northmor is throwing at them. That one, a 13-yarder. And again, they're inside the 10 here, ready to score.
And he had options on that play. Going to hand off this time. It is Campbell. Campbell straight up the gut, maybe a yard. But that's the thing. Bauer's not going through. He's going through his progressions, but he's not only got the options, there's just guys open.
Yes.
I mean,
absolutely.
He doesn't have to force it.
Nope.
There's any one of his progressions he can hit.
Got a penalty right there on Northmor, so that'll mark that one back. So that does hurt the drive a little bit here as they'll move it back and set it down at about the 18-yard line, so a 10-yard penalty there against Northmor. But like you said, this is one of those offenses that penalties like that doesn't seem to always hurt them that much because they get 20 yards a pass.
As soon as they spotted the ball, Northmore's already on it. They're ready to go. Hard count by Bauer, but
he got a jump, but he did not. Nope, he got back.
Didn't take the free play. Sets him up again, slot left. That's Campbell. He's going to get it on a little sweeps. Campbell evades one, can't get by the second defender, and he's knocked down for a loss on the play back at the 20.
I'll tell you what.
Maybe even the 21.
Giller Preston, the defensive lineman, man, he did a great job. He got into the backfield. Tackle who was trying to kind of get on top of him was not able to do so, and he cut off the running lane. There's just no place for him to go.
Wanger in a slot left. They're going to bunch it up. Now they'll break apart. Swap the formation. Wanger comes below us, near side to the left, 2 to the right. Bauer wants to throw, has time. Near side, back of the end zone. Caught. Wanger again. Just a back corner fade. Flag, whatever you want to say. He just beat the defender deep.
Well, they're trying to put that defender in man coverage over there, and it's just drastically unfair. And you got to give these, it's not just that these guys are great athletes. They are well-coached wide receivers because Wanger not only runs good routes, he does something that a lot of high school players don't do, is he uses his hands in his routes too. So, he kind of just gives himself a little separation, and then he explodes away from him, and the defender's kind of looking around going, where's my receiver, but where's the ball? Like, I don't even know where anything is right now. He's nowhere near it, and Wanger's just going to sit in there and catch a 21-yard touchdown pass.
Another drop in a bucket by Bauer, and he punches through the extra point to make it 14-0. 4:33 to go in the first quarter, and Northmor showing off here early. We'll be back.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
Crawford. WQEL and live online on the OH Report. Bauer sends a knuckler into the end zone. They won't touch that one.
No, they will not.
Touchback on that will spot Caldwell 1st and 10 from the 20. And this offense, 2 straight 3-and-outs.
Yeah, I just was watching A.J. Bauer after his kick there. He literally just skipped over to the sideline. And, he's playing so loose and carefree. And that's the way every coach wants their quarterback, and their kicker for that matter, to be able to play. I mean, it's just like, this is easy for me. Like this is going exactly the way I want it to.
Pistol formation, Croc and Leak. Now Leak will step up on the left hip. Slot back left side. He is going to hand off Leak. Good counter play. Had a brief opening, and then just the door was slammed shut by those 2 game wreckers, Ashton Clark and Jackson Wanger.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. Little got to be where Clark came up limping on that play after, did a really nice job chasing him down. He's up. He seems like he's okay, but you can see like he's favoring that right leg a lot, and he's not the type of player, especially on the defensive end of the football. They don't want to. He just kind of gave the hand up to the sideline, like I'm going to keep it playing. Don't worry about it, but I might need a play out after this one.
Croc again in the gun, back on his left side, goes to him this time.
Good
run. Go through the B gap on the left side, big hole up over the 30 to the 32. Best run of the day for Leak, and that's going to be a first down, the first one for Caldwell.
Yeah, sometimes I'm a big believer in the fact that just go with the quick hitter up the middle. See if you can get those defensive linemen off guard where they're not expecting it, especially when they're used to, so far in this game, kind of slower moving plays around the edges.
Croc, high snap, can't handle it. He's going to have to fall on it back at the 22-yard line. Bounced off his shoulder pads twice, able to corral it and just fall on it and save a turnover.
Yep.
Because that would have been devastating.
Oh, it would have been terrible for him. I mean, you know what? The snap was a little high, but still certainly manageable. But I did think he just took his eye off of it. And, sometimes when that happens, disaster happens. The simplest thing in the world, but you can destroy a play. Nothing worse than you can't get the ball from the center to the quarterback.
Caldwell checking the sideline. Clock winding here in the first quarter. Inside 3 minutes. Croc in the backfield. He's got Leak on his left. He wants to throw. Quick hitter near side, deflected in the air. Almost intercepted. Oh, my. What a play by Ashton Clark, who read the quarterback perfectly, got his hand in the air. And I think if the offensive lineman wouldn't have still been engaged, Clark would have caught it and housed it.
That's exactly all it was, is he was just trying to get away from the lineman enough to be able to get his hands free to be able to catch that ball.
65.
Yeah.
Preston was just made a phenomenal play without knowing it, because he saved 6 points by holding on to Ashton Clark there.
Yep, but again, I mean, they're just trying to do the quick hitting slant right there, and the defensive end who's the one who knocks it down. So now a third and very long, looking at 19 yards for the first down.
2 left, now the motion to trips. Has the snap, going to come.
Oh,
my
again.
goodness! Clark again in the passing lane. Back-to-back plays. He almost had a pick 6.
He's down in his knees looking at his guys going, come on, I don't get it. I don't get interceptions. Come on, I had 2 chances there. Because that one, if he gets that one, he's walking into the end zone.
No doubt, untouched. Clark on the year. He's one of their best tacklers. Leads them in sacks. Leads them in TFLs, and almost had a pick 6 on back-to-back plays. Kroc will punt from his 10. This one he gets off, and it's much better. Fair catch called for and made at the 45-yard line. That's where Northmor will take over 1st and 10 for their 4th drive of the game.
Yep.
They've had back-to-back touchdowns.
But this is working out quite well for Northmor, not just because of the points, but because the defense is playing so well, and they've had not great punts from Caldwell going the other way. That one a little bit better. But they're getting good field position, too. So, they started their first drive of the game. Northmor started with the ball. They threw the 35-yard pass to start things off. Every play since then, this is the worst field position they've had since. They're at the 45-yard line.
Landon and Wanger near side, but the play is blown dead.
Going to be a penalty here. And I think, or did they call a timeout? Because they're looking over it. No, the flag is down.
I can't believe it was a delay of game.
No, I don't think it was.
But they're only going to mark 5. It must have been delay of game. All right.
That was a very quick turnaround if it was a delay of game, but still.
Clock operator is on it tonight.
Yeah, he is.
So a penalty on 1st down will make it 1st and 15 for A.J. Bauer and the Golden Knights. Again, Wanger, Landon, wide left. He is, though, going to hand it off. That's Campbell. Campbell, second burst of energy. He's up over the 45 and into Caldwell territory. Oh, excuse me, that was Becker. Becker with a phenomenal carry.
Jeez, it's just...
He broke through that line. He got lost for a second, and then he was, to the second level.
Well, he's kind of that speed back there, and if he's got a little bit of space, that's all he needs. He goes 18 yards there. Going to give it to him again.
Going to bounce it right side this time. Gets by a couple defenders inside the 35-yard line down to the 33. Another great carry. And he's got some guys in front of him who are, their blocking scheme, they're getting to that first guy, shucking him, and getting to that second level and plowing the road.
Well, unfortunately, it just becomes so complicated as a defender because you just watched, they've already got 100 yards passing and 2 touchdown passes on long throws. So the linebackers are looking at pass plays. They're thinking about moving back, and that's opening up the running game.
Fake the handoff. Bauer going to roll left. Has time. Sets up to throw. Near side, incomplete. Over the head of the intended receiver, Bo Landon. But again, that's just a 4-man rush.
Yep.
But Bauer's got all day.
Well, and he's so cool because even though the pressure comes a little bit, he just starts to roll out. But if you look at him, he's never paying attention to the defender. He's looking downfield. He's pointing the receivers, go there. No, cut this way. He's looking at the play, and they're just on cue. It's just the receivers and A.J. Bauer are just in sync. They know exactly, okay, watch my quarterback. He'll tell me where he wants me. That one, it was a smaller window. He overthrew him a little bit.
Empty backfield on 3rd and short. Going to throw far side to the right. Pass is caught in the flats. Makes one man miss. He's going to fall forward into the Northmor sideline.
It was Landon
That was
again.
Bo Landon.
Enough for the move and the change, though. Just, that was a simple. They tried to bring the blitz on that time, and they figured, okay, maybe we can just get to him this way. But he just turned and threw, and they weren't playing tight on him. So,
well, what a play! He was lined up as the far outside receiver. They motioned him into the slot, so the DB, the corner's got to take the slot. What was initially the slot, he vacates, and then the flats are wide open for Landon.
Absolutely.
They're going to hand it off here. Becker again, straight up the gut, bounces to the right side, inside the 10-yard line. And Becker on a roll here as we near the end of the first quarter. This Northmor offense is showing up and showing out.
Yeah, that one goes a 15-yard run. I'll be honest with you. I knew it was going to be a good run right from the get-go, but he just broke through. I thought he was going to run out of space, but he didn't. He just kind of stopped and just started running down that sideline, perfectly ran, and goes 15 yards.
And quickly to the line, Bauer with a hard count, and he's going to take the free 5 yards.
Oh. Or are they?
He wanted to change the play, but the official threw the flag. I don't think they can eat that.
Yeah, Bauer's kind of looking at him like, what? What are we doing here? He'll take the half distance, so another 4-yard penalty there. But still, they're down to the 4-yard line now. They've been throwing the ball in the end zone from here out of first down. They might be looking at running the ball in the end zone.
Tight end in a slot right. They're going to hand it off. Becker behind a slew of Northmor Golden Knights, and he's into the end zone for 6. Sirens again, 3 times in the first quarter. Their first running score of the night. That's Becker for pay dirt.
Yep, just beautifully put together drive once again. They're doing whatever they want here tonight. I mean, this Northmor team, just such a finely oiled machine. And again, it doesn't matter if it's passing the football. That passing attack has now really opened up the running holes. And Becker right there, just every time he touched the ball, he was just getting big yards.
Bauer out for another extra point attempt. Clean snap, clean hold, kick is up, and Bauer punches it through for his 3rd extra point of the night, and it's Northmor 21, Caldwell 0. 54 seconds to go in the first quarter. We'll be back on WQEL and live online on the OH.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Brought up to the 22-yard line. That's where Caldwell will start 1st and 10 and try and get something going. 3 straight punts on 3 straight possessions to open this thing up. This Northmor defensive line has wreaked havoc on quarterback Ethan Kroc. Kroc in the gun, back on his right side. He's got a slot back right in front of him. Has a snap, gonna quick hit near side. That's Leak. Leak gets a block, gets by one, carries one up and over the 30. They'll spot it about the 31-yard line. Give it the 30. So positive play of 4 yards there for Kroc and the Redskins, and they just got to get comfortable, get something going.
But I think that's the type of thing that you got to look at and say, all right, let's get Kroc an easy pitch and catch here and get some confidence going. Open up the running game, and here they go.
Now they're going to put some blockers out in front of him. Kroc lowers the shoulder and plows into Jack Swanger at the 37-yard line. That's going to move the sticks.
Yep.
And Kroc, he's a big kid.
Yeah.
You know, 6'3", 205, meets Wanger at 6'2", 185. Kroc won that battle.
Yeah, well, you know what? When he comes around on that running play, and again, they're just sort of just doing, all right, quarterback, it's not even a drive. He's just coming on to catch the ball and sweep around the edge. But they're bringing the blockers in front of him, and that time they really sealed off the end, gave him some space. And when he's going against defensive backs, it's a huge advantage.
They tried to line it up and get another play in, but it's the end of the first quarter. From Northmor in Week 11, it's the Golden Knights 21 and the Caldwell Redskins 0.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
Clark, and he's the second guy in sacks and tackles for loss. Like, he's in the backfield an awful lot. That will not be the first or the last time we'll hear his name.
They'll try and run it again. It's Leak. Leak with nowhere to go.
Yep.
24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Loss of 1.
They clogged up the middle big time there, and he just kind of had to stop. He was like, I don't know where else to go. And again, there was Goldblock coming in from the edge. He's the one who kind of he'll get the tackle on the play. But quite honestly, it's the big guy in the middle. I think it was Vance Johnson, 295 pounds. He just kind of blew everything up interior.
Double tight. Lone back is Leak, and they're going to sling it out to him on 3rd and long. Leak looking for a block. It's Goldblock again.
Nowhere to go.
Behind the 30 at the 28-yard line, Goldblock smothered. Came from that defensive end, took on a double team, gets by them both, and brings them down for a huge loss.
A real slow developing play. And, you know, for Northmor and the way that they run to the football and how aggressive they are, that's just too easy for them. I mean, they're just looking at it going, oh, okay. And that was a forward pass, so it's not like they even had to worry about him throwing it down the field. They all could just start attacking.
Ooh, Northmor might have had a chance at that one. Fair catch called for and made by Cohen Becker.
Yep.
Ball spotted at the 32-yard. He had all sorts of room.
He had a lot of room, but it was a pretty good punt, and I think Becker wanted to just kind of get himself, like, he was like, all right, that ball's a little over. He was backing up a little, and I think he was just thinking, I'll call for the fair catch, make sure I can just focus on catching it. And with the way our offense is moving, you know, I don't know that I need to worry about trying to get a huge return, but you're right. I mean, he had, 15, 20 yards in front of him. Probably could have got a pretty good return off.
21-0, Northmor leading the Caldwell Redskins, and they have the football once again. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. They've scored on their last 3 possessions.
They're playing so far back at these defensive backs. Don't want to get beat over the top anymore.
Running back on either side of his hip, it's going to be Campbell.
He just kind of keeps
grinding. Bauer.
Keep grinding. It looks like it's going to be a 2-3 yard pickup. Ends up getting probably 4 or 5.
And at this, you know, Northmor can work on some other things. You know, they want to work on establishing the run game and kind of some sequence of plays here. I mean, they lead 21-0 in the second quarter at home. Has the shotgun snap, going to hand off again. This time it's Campbell, left side. He's got a lot of running room and a first down again, up over the 45 to the 48-yard line. Yep. And this Northmor offensive line, their blocking scheme, they are executing perfectly.
I think we should, you know, we talk so much about the skill players. We talk about Bauer, the 2 backs, Campbell and Becker. We got Winger, we got Landon. These guys are all studs. But this offensive line is they're unbelievable. I mean, nobody gets near anybody. Except on this play.
This time he gets knocked down. But hey, you know how many times
that's the story of my life.
He'll get knocked down for a yard loss that time.
Becker gets the handoff.
It was Becker.
Yep. Good job on backside pursuit right there from the defensive line of the Redskins. You know, plays going to the left side of the offensive line, but the tackle came from the backside. Got him for the 1 yard loss.
Doubles formation, Bauer in a gun, hard
got him
count.
to jump.
Gets him to jump, and he maybe wants that, but he's not trying to do that. He's just seeing what's going to happen, what the defense shows him. If the linebacker's going to come up and show blitz, who's coming off the edge. He's just checking to see what happens, and then he's going to change the play. And Caldwell jumps off sides, 3 of the front 4 in the free 5 yards. Snap, throw, quick hitter near side is complete. That's Goldblock, 40, 35, 30, keeps his feet. And then he's tripped up just inside the 30 at the 27-yard line. Great move in the open field and a better pitch and catch. Bauer to Goldblock.
It's so nicely done right there. And again, you know, like you said, I mean, I didn't think, you know, I was like, oh, okay, it's going to go, you know, nice little short little pickup. But he made the cut inside. And then if he was able to keep his feet, it's going to be a foot race to the end zone. I think he's going to make it.
Doubles again. Bauer wants to throw. Up in the pocket, has some traffic, and he's actually going to be brought down, but still able to gain positive yardage. He'll pick up 1 on that play.
Yeah, but you know what? What I like what Bauer did there, he's like, all right, I don't see anything. I'm going to step up and see if I can run. And then when he realized he didn't have anything there, he just sort of kind of corralled the ball, make sure I don't turn it over. And he's just like, I'm just going to kind of fall down. I'm going to let them lightly like put me down to the ground. I'm not going to take a big hit. I'm not going to do anything stupid. I'm just going to go ahead and take this thing down to the ground, and a flag's going to come down here.
They're going to get called for the false start because he once again gave that hard cadence and it was 23 Campbell jumping that time. Caught him leaning.
Got his own player.
So the penalty will back him up a little bit. Spot it at the 30. It'll be 2nd and 15. Clock rolling once again. We're at 8 minutes to go in the first half.
Here's the pitch.
Sweep, left side. Campbell looking for space.
Look at
Gets
all
off
the
one,
room.
up the sideline, and he's in for 6.
Wow.
Carson Campbell with the slew of blockers out in front. Campbell able to find the end zone for 6.
30-yard touchdown run, and a perfect example of saying, we are going to take what you are giving us, because the defensive backs and everybody's playing back so far. They are 12, 15 yards back because they don't want to get beat on the big pass play. So they're like, all right, well, fine. We'll just run at you, and we're going to take it out in that open field. We're going to get some good blocking. All the guys are so far downfield. All we got to do is get receivers on them blocking, and that's the thing about these guys. They do block. So sure enough, Campbell, he's untouched for the first 10 yards on the run.
Bowers extra point up and good. He's a perfect 4 for 4 on the night, and Northmor leads it 28-0 in week 11. We'll take a timeout. Be back on WQEL and the OH. This is
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
And live online on the OH report. It's been all Northmor through quarter and a half here in Gallion, and Northmor leading 28-0. They pretty much had their way with Caldwell so far.
Oh my gosh! You know what? We saw them early in the season. We're like, that team is going to be tough to beat. They are going to be really good. They've just gotten better, and at this point in time, they are firing at all cylinders. And they've just got a team here that they're just overmatching. I mean, it's not to say that Caldwell doesn't have some good players, because you can see it. They've got some guys who are pretty talented, but ultimately they don't have enough. They don't have enough weapons. They don't have enough athletes to be able to keep up with Northmor.
Bauer sends it deep, caught at the 5. The near side, it was 3. Pepper gets to the 20, and he's knocked down there by 19. Bo Landon, all sides of the ball. Bo's going to get it done.
Yep.
I think also in on the stop was Garrett Deesh. This Northmor team, they're just set up for a deep run.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, they were 13-1 last year, getting knocked out just before the state, and that's certainly heavy on their mind. That's where they want to go.
And they brought so many guys back from that team too, so it's like, all right. I mean, it's one thing to go on a deep run and do pretty well, but it's another thing to be like, oh, these guys are coming back and having the opportunity for improvement and to show that they're ready to do it again.
They'll bunch trips on the right side. Croc in a gun. Has it. Straight quarterback keeper. Trying to get outside. Pick up a block. Croc still stretching and maybe picks up a yard.
Yep. I think he got a little
Great
bit
job
there.
by Northmor just to keep pushing that play to the sideline.
He was going a little bit more east and west, but got himself moved forward a little bit. Like you said, probably got a yard on the play, nothing pretty, but they just stretched it out. He just had no place to cut it upfield. And I think at some point in time, he probably had to just cut his losses and say, I'm just going to move forward and use my 205-pound body, see if I can knock some people out of the way.
Croc, Leak in the backfield. Late substitution. Again, bunch trips on the right, lone receiver to the left. Croc has the snap, wants to throw. Quick hitter. It's deflected and incomplete. Man, if the safety keeps moving over, he might pick that off. That was Becker.
And that's actually, you know what? It's funny because that's what the defensive backs are talking about. You know, Brady Carr, who's back there, is looking at Becker going, hey, man, I had him. Don't worry about him. Like, go get that ball. Like, he was, I think, telling him the exact same thing. He's like, and they were still talking about it. He's like, don't worry, I had him in coverage. You didn't have to worry about him catching the ball. Just go ahead and make that interception. But now another third down and pretty long here for the Redskins.
Trips to the near side below us. That is to Croc's left. Leak in the backfield, gonna step up and
He's
throw.
got a receiver wide
Has
open.
Pressure. Gets out of the pocket, and then he coughs it up late. I think they're gonna mark him down.
Yep.
Sacked on the
Saved
play,
the
back
touchdown.
at the 15-yard line.
You know what? He had one receiver over here, Brody Chandler. They
Wide
lost
open.
him wide open. But unfortunately, the pressure came that way, so he rolled out right. The receivers were all on the left. He couldn't see him. He never recognized that he was open. Ends up being another loss, and they're going to have to punt away again.
Clock rolling here in the first half, down to 6:30, 28-0 Northmore. And the Redskins will punt on 4th and 14. Gets it off, fielded at the 49, and he's going to return it. Here comes Wenger.
Oh, big run.
That is Wenger. Wenger
Look at him
splits
go.
the seam to the 20, inside the 20. Going to go down at the 18-yard line. Jax Wenger just on a dead sprint, slicing through, running through arm tackles. I think he broke at least 5, maybe 6 on that play, and then carried 2 guys inside the 20, and he spots them at the, are they going to give him the 17? About the 18, 19-yard line.
Yeah, they'll put it at 19. You know, one of the things that we don't talk about a lot, but is super important in the game of football, it's one thing to be fast, but can you be fast quickly? Jax Wenger can get up to top speed in 1 step. That's what you saw right there. He got that ball 1 step, and then bam, he is at top speed flying down the field.
And now we're having a wildcat formation.
Here he goes.
It's Campbell. Campbell to the second level, falling forward. He's at the 10.
Another
Wenger
good run.
blocking downfield, just got a pancake on 29 and in Bender. Wenger blocking downfield, just pancakes the DB.
Yep. And again, you know, Northmore just putting it on, you know, this Redskin team. Made a long drive to get up here. I don't know if they knew what they were getting themselves into. There's another shot. Good. There it is. Same play.
Campbell with the wildcat, pulling guard in front, pushing his way to the 5, gets inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. So Northmore showing some wildcat. Another dimension of this offense that just makes them even harder to defend.
Yeah, it's like let's show that we can be a power team as well. And they're going to just stay in this wildcat. Becker and Campbell just staying in the backfield alone. Power look.
High snap, Campbell has it. Left side B gap, falls forward again. Maybe the 2.
The wildcat, people don't realize it. I don't know that it's discussed enough or a lot. The timing is really important, and that high snap really threw off the timing of the play. That said, the blocking is so good. He still got 3 yards, despite the fact that it was a high snap that he had to take a half a second to control the ball. Because the problem is, on those mistakes like that, Becker, who's the guy who he would kind of fake a handoff to, is already past him. So the defense knows, oh, okay, well, they're not giving a handoff, but they still couldn't do anything about it.
Bauer back at the helm, has the snap.
There it
hands
is.
off Becker, in for 6.
A little too easy right there. Cohen Becker completely untouched. His second touchdown of the night.
And it is now 34-0 with 4:41 to go in the first half. Northmore dominating Caldwell here in week 11.
They're not, this is also a game for, you know, whoever they're going to play as this playoffs go on, they're serving notice right now. They're like, all right, watch this game film and see if you can figure out where our weaknesses are at.
Bauer out on the field again for an extra point. They show pressure, snap is, and it's up and good, but they're going to blow it dead and make him re-kick. Near side pass rusher jumped a little too early.
Yeah.
So they'll bump it up a little bit and kick again.
Yeah, on the season, Bauer, you know, extra point wise, pretty consistent there as well. 48 of 52 on those extra points. He only kicked one field goal. He was 1 for 1. It was a 40-yarder. So he's got a little leg, too.
Yeah, the offense just gets it so close. He doesn't have to.
Yeah, he doesn't usually have to do it, but
he just wanted to see if he could on that one.
Yeah.
Snap back, hold down. Second try is good. 35-0 with 4:41 to go in the first half. Northmor all over Caldwell. We'll be back.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Coverage of the OHSAA high school playoffs here on WQEL and live online on the OH Report. Northmor and Caldwell battling it out on the gridiron tonight, but it's been all Northmor, 35-0.
yeah, I don't know if Caldwell is kind of even knows what hit him in this game, the way Northmor has come out to play.
Croc gonna grab it, or excuse me, that was Peffer up over the 20 to the 22-yard line before he's knocked down.
He ran in the gold block, and that was the end of that play.
Sure tackler for the Northmor Golden Knights. A, three-way starter.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that.
Yep. Tight end, defensive end, 210 pounds, just strong, tough.
Yeah. Move on special teams.
Exactly.
Makes plays. Now he's back out on the defensive side of the football. Croc in the gun. Leak on his left side. He's got a lone receiver left, 2 to the right. Slot back right as well. 1st and 10 from the 22. Croc has a snap. He is going to give off to Leak. Leak lowers the head, trying to drive forward. And I don't even know if he made the line of scrimmage.
I don't know that he did either. I'm just kind of looking, though, at, okay, what's Northmor doing so well defensively? Again, it's just 4 men on that line of scrimmage. But unfortunately, what happens for teams that are playing them, between Vance Johnson and that's the one big body, and then Ryan, no, not Lowry. It was, Ryan Lowry, 260 pounds, 295 pounds in that interior line. They can put 3-4 guys on them. They don't move them at all.
Move those bodies.
So it's like, okay, you're not running there. You better go around the edge.
Going to hand off this time to Bender. Bender with a little open space on that right side, up close to the 30, down at the 27-yard line, but still, they are going to be facing a 3rd and 5, and they have not been successful on 3rd down so far.
But the point of it that I'm trying to get to is the fact that when you run to the outside against Northmor, now you're playing against their strength, which is their speed. They're so fast. I mean, you see it in these receivers and stuff like that. These guys can just flow to the ball. So those guys clog up the middle. Everybody else runs to the outside, and it's like it just leaves you not a lot of options for your offense.
Croc wants to throw, looking. He's going to air it out near side. A little confusion, almost intercepted.
That was
in coverage. Excuse me, was 21 Cohen Becker. Intended receiver was 29 Bender, and they were both kind of drifting. Yeah. He just put a ton of air under it and hoped his guy could run under it. Becker was a little confused. He had to circle back around, and he still almost intercepted it.
I got to be honest with you, I think they were both just kind of on that play, totally lost on where that ball was. And for Becker, he just turned around and was like, oh my gosh, that ball's right, it's coming right to me. But even the receiver who's looking at the ball seemed to have a hard time judging where it was going to drop.
Caldwell going to have to punt, 4th and 4. This time they're going to return it.
Wanger,
far side.
Oh, great
gets
cut.
by a arm tackle. 45-50. Wanger across the midfield mark. 45, pushing and going down at the Caldwell 42-yard line. And what can't this kid do?
I know, exactly. It's like, all right, he's just cutting on the dime. But Wenger's got good size, too. I mean, it's not like he's literally 6'2", 185. So he's got the speed. He's got the quickness in terms of his inability to go in and out. But he's got size, too, so he's not going to go down on an arm tackle.
And more great starting field position now for Northmor inside Caldwell territory at the 42-yard line.
Obviously, in a scenario right now, we're already looking at running clock, but they can put another score on. It puts Caldwell in a scenario where they almost can't stop it in the second half. And I'm sure that that's something that, Coach Ambrose would love to see. He doesn't want his guys being out there too long in a game like this where it's already out of reach.
I'm sure they're already dreading a 3-hour bus ride, let alone a couple injuries. Near side Wenger, pass caught at the 35-yard line. Good pitch and catch. Pick up 7.
Yep. Just take what they'll give you. If they're going to give you, a short pass, you take it. And again, they can sort of kind of look at it and say, we've got to go now, 35 yards, and I got 245, so let's do this. We don't need to do it all in one play. We can if they give it to us, but no rush.
Wants to throw, Bauer. A little confusion over there. Two guys running the same route.
Yep.
But when you're that good, it still is complete.
Becker.
Hauling it in was Becker. Both guys within 2 yards of each other running grass routes.
Exactly.
Becker just took it from, was that Bo Land? Or no, yeah, that was Bo Landon over there.
Yeah, that was just kind of a silly, ridiculous. But you know what? It's a 9-yard pass, but that ball, because he threw it from the 1 hash mark all the way to the far side of the field, it's like a 23-yard pass downfield, and he just drops it right on the spot.
Up in the pocket, going to air it out. Left side.
Oh, I got it.
Jump
There it is.
ball.
I got it.
Is caught.
No problem.
Bo Landon.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm here to take the ball deep, take the top off the defense. Bo Landon just mossed the DB in the back corner of the end zone to make it 41-0.
That's just silly. You know what? When he threw it up, I was like, he's not open. Like, he's not open in that corner. Defender's right with him, but the defender doesn't turn around and take a good look at the ball, and Landon just goes right over the top of him. All hands on the catch, drops the feet in, easy touchdown.
A full arsenal of weapons for the Northmor Golden Knights, and they'll try and go up 42-0. Extra point attempt up. Extra point attempt is good, and it's 42-0. With 2:11 to go in the first half here from Northmor, it's all the Golden Knights. We'll be back.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
Jeff Roberts with you tonight on WQEL 92.7 FM, WQEL.com, and live online on the OH Report. Northmor sends it deep. Bauer's kick is fielded and returned to the 19-yard line. It was Chandler on the return. And once again, more phenomenal kick coverage by the Northmor Golden Knights.
Yeah, 42-0 right now for the Golden Knights. And there's just nothing that everything's going easy for them today. It's not just that it's going well. It's almost like they're not even having to try. It's, every once in a while you watch a game, and it's weird to say this because it's a playoff team, and Caldwell's, again, state Final Four last year in Division 7. I mean, they're no joke. And, yeah, they lost the all-Ohio quarterback. But, I mean, you knew that they beat some good teams throughout this season this year. But this is like watching, the varsity team play against the middle schoolers.
Croc with a shotgun snap. He's going to keep it straight up the gut.
Nothing.
Northmor bringing a blitz at the perfect time, and they stuff him for no gain on that play. Jeff, you look at the starting field position. Caldwell, own 20, own 4, own 20, own 26, own 20, own 22, own 19.
Yep, exactly.
You look at Northmor, they've started in Caldwell territory 4 of the 7 times they've had the football.
Well, you know what? But what's the point is that, Croc, again, he's 210 pounds and he's a big, strong kid, but he just tries to run up the middle. He's running into 550 pounds, right? In front of a brick wall of 550 pounds. It's like, yeah, good luck. It's literally just say good luck. You better have some great interior linemen to move those guys out of the way.
And they got some big, solid kids, but this Northmor team has one thing on their mind, and that is another state appearance.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Quick sling near side. It's caught. Short gain. It'll set up 3rd and 8. They 13-1 last year, ran through the regular season. Great couple playoff games. And then they got beat by, Sugar Creek Garaways, who knocked them out in the regional finals. And A.J. Bauer, an all-conference first-teamer a year ago, he had his weapons back, and that's where he wants to go again.
They had just real definitive and easy goals to think about. They were like, we're going to win a KMAC title. We haven't had a KMAC title here for a long time. We're going to get one of those, and we're going to get that. And they did that, and they're like, we're going to go undefeated this year. But you can almost just sense this feeling of like, we're going to make a deep run this year. We're going after a state title. Now that's big. Yeah, and again, it's easy to sometimes say things like that, but ultimately, you can just see they have different expectation level at this point in time than what most teams have. A lot of teams, they get to the playoffs and it's like, man, maybe we can win a game or two. Northmor is just kind of playing with a different level of swagger and confidence. They're thinking differently, and you're seeing it here tonight.
Absolutely. As we look at a 42-0 scoreboard, let's go around the area and look at some other games happening tonight in Division II, Region 6. Fremont Ross at Medina Highland. Sandusky is at Oregon Clay. Norwalk at Medina Buckeye. Tiffin Columbian at Cleveland. Lexington at Maumee. Upper is at Sandusky Perkins. Elida at Shelby. Clear Fork is at Ontario. Otsego is at Clyde. And River Valley is at Vermilion. Just some of the area games going on tonight. Of course, Davy Jones in the Friday phone board will be bringing you all of the area scores. Give him a call. Give him a shout out. Whatever you want to talk about in the wide, wide world of sports. First time out taken right there is first of the half. Stops it with 29 seconds. The Caldwell Redskins back out on the field. We'll see what they dial up here on 3rd and 8. Croc in the backfield. Going to hand off. Leak straight up the middle. Gets by one-arm tackle. Keeps his feet. Still driving. Gets up to the 30-yard line. Yep. And he's going to be really close to a first down.
Just depend on that spot.
They're going to give it to him.
Yep.
So it'll briefly stop the clock.
Run.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Clock will wind with 15 now. See if the Redskins can get another playoff.
Yep. They have the type of play that can get them a lot of yards. I don't know if they do.
Down to 3. Croc has it, and he's just going to hand off.
Leak nothing that time.
Nowhere to go for, actually, that was Garner Gatos, who's the ball carrier, I believe. Yeah, number 33, but that is the final play of the first half. Northmor 42, Caldwell 0. Stay tuned. Halftime stats and analysis coming your way on WQEL and the OH Report.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, our caring professionals are ready to serve you with personally tailored services designed to meet the unique needs of each individual. When we take on a patient at Avita Home Health and Hospice, they really do feel like family. So when we take care of our family, we want to take care of the whole person. So we take care of them from our nurses, our aides, our physical, occupational, and speech therapists, but we also have people that tend to their hearts. So we have social workers, we have chaplains, and people that can help with the emotional side of their care.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, we have a dedicated team that takes care of you. Caring for the whole person is our promise to you. From social and emotional well-being to the way the patient relates to their loved ones, we treat your family like our family.
serving patients and their families wherever they call home, including assisted living facilities and nursing homes. Call 1-800-4NURSES to see if Avita can help administer your plan of custom care.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
I'm AJ Bauer, and you're watching Golden Knight Football on the OH Report, live and free.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today, the better way to service.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, our caring professionals are ready to serve you with personally tailored services designed to meet the unique needs of each individual. When we take on a patient at Avita Home Health and Hospice, they really do feel like family. So when we take care of our family, we want to take care of the whole person. So we take care of them from our nurses, our aides, our physical, occupational, and speech therapists, but we also have people that tend to their hearts. So we have social workers, we have chaplains, and people that can help with the emotional side of their care.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, we have a dedicated team that takes care of you. Caring for the whole person is our promise to you. From social and emotional well-being to the way the patient relates to their loved ones, we treat your family like our family.
Serving patients and their families wherever they call home, including assisted living facilities and nursing homes. Call 1-800-4NURSES to see if Avita can help administer your plan of custom care.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
I'm AJ Bauer, and you're watching Golden Knight Football on the OH Report, live and free.
OH.REPORT. I'm Josh Stallings alongside Jeff Roberts here from Northmor High School. It's week number 11, week 1 of the playoffs here in Division 6. And Jeff, this number 2 seed, the Northmor Golden Knights, have pretty much just dominated the Caldwell Redskins in the first half.
You know, when we saw them week 1 of the year, you know, of the regular season, you know, they played Upper Sandusky, and it was we were like, wow, this Northmor team is good. And, you know, now we're in week 1 of the playoffs, and we're like, wow, this Northmor team, they're still better. Really good. I mean, it's incredible to watch them. I mean, it's no disrespect to the Caldwell Redskins. I mean, they have a long trip up here, and, you know, but they just don't have the horses to keep up with Northmor. And quite honestly, I don't think a lot of teams do. I mean, it's gonna, you know, there's someplace along the line they're going to get into the playoffs and they'll meet somebody who can match up with them a little bit. But it might take a couple of games before they get to that point.
Yeah, dominating here, pitching a shutout. This defense only gives up 7.9 points per game on the year. They're pitching a shutout here through the first 2 quarters. We're going to have that running clock. We look at the stats right now. 9 first downs for Northmor, dominating with 127 rushing yards, 160 pass yards. I mean, it is 309 to 12.
Yeah, well, that's the point.
Depending, I'll take your stats too.
Yeah, well, I mean, they are. It's right on the point. You know, 182 yards passing, 309 total, 12 yards in offense for Caldwell. 12. I mean, they got 1 passing yard, 11 rushing. And by the way, right before the half, they had an 8-yard run. You know, so just think about that. They have 12 yards right now, but 8 of them came, you know, on the second last play of the first half. So they were basically under 5 yards in total offense, and they've got some penalty yards. I mean, they were in the negatives, and they really actually still are. They've got 13 yards in penalties. So they're in negative total yardage in the game if you put the penalty yardage in it.
And they haven't even given Northmor an extra possession. You know, 0 turnovers. They've taken care of the football.
Yeah.
They don't have a ton of penalties. They've played a pretty clean game.
Mm-hmm.
Northmor is just everywhere.
They're just that good. You know, it's like I keep saying, they got the big bodies inside that prevent them from running up the middle. They've got the speed on the outside that, you know, can stop them from running there. The passing game, you know, for Caldwell is just, you know, a little off the mark as well. So when you put it all together, you got a Northmor team that has just got this massive advantage over the Redskins. And quite honestly, at this point in time, I mean, it's tough. You know, I do feel for Chance Rucker, the head coach of Caldwell, and, you know, all the players. They made a long drive, and I know it's been a long season for them as well. We were talking a little bit with some people before the game. You know, they dealt with some injuries. They've dealt with people who decided not to play this year, decided to quit midway through the season. A lot of issues going on right there, and I know it's probably been a long season, especially coming after a state Final Four run, you know, in which they really had high hopes that they could kind of keep moving, keep building the program up at another level, and this year's been a step backward for them. But a game like this is an unfortunate first-round matchup, because then it's like, all right, well, we made the playoffs. That's the great news. The bad news is we're going to go up and we're going to go to this place, Northmor. You know, it's a little bit of a hike for us, and we don't know a lot about them, and I'm sure they probably saw it on film and said they look pretty good, but when you see them in person, it's a totally different ballgame.
Yeah, Northmor has just been stifling on all 3 aspects of the ballgame so far. And if you're the Redskins, you can't really slow them down, because you start bringing pressure at A.J. Bauer, then you're opening up your secondary to 5 weapons who can just, you know, run wild on you.
Well, you know, they've even seen it in this game. I mean, like, at this point in time, Bauer's got 3 touchdown passes, 182 yards passing, but Landon and Wenger are the ones who are doing the damage. Wenger's got 2 touchdowns, Landon's got 1. But look at the Bo Landon touchdown catch. The coverage was pretty good on that play. I mean, you can't really blame the defensive back. The only thing you can say is he didn't get his head turned around on time, but he was standing with him the entire time. The problem was Landon just was like, okay, well, I'll just pop over the top of you. I'll catch this thing down with my hands, and I'll just sit down. And you know, if you're a defensive back who's playing on that play, who, by the way, your team looked at you and said, sorry, they got a bunch of good receivers, and you're going to have to probably play a little bit of man coverage out there. You're going to have to figure out a way to stop this guy man on man. It's so demoralizing. It's like, I don't know what to do to stop them.
Exactly.
I cannot stop these guys. They're just that good. They've got size, they got speed, they got the athleticism. And, you know, at this point in time, I mean, we knew coming into the game, Caldwell's real chance was they were going to have to try to run the football, and they were going to have to control the clock, and they haven't been able to do that at all here. And as a result, we're seeing a scoreboard that is massively in Northmor's advantage.
Yeah, they've dominated not only in the scoring column, but time of possession field position, every aspect of the game so far, special teams, offense, defense, doesn't matter. It's been all Northmor, and that just shows how good this team is. They were KMAC champs a year ago, KMAC champs again this year, looking to make a deep run, and they are just clicking on all cylinders at the right time. Do you want to peak at the right time? And I think they are.
I don't think there's any question about it. They're just kind of so well built. I mean, because even if you look at the roster, you know, I was talking to another coach in the area just a couple of weeks ago, and he said, you know, I think one of the really big differences between some of the great teams and some of the teams that are struggling is it's not always in the skill positions, but it's about the pride that some teams have in the offensive line. And when you look at Northmor's roster, which is pretty good size for a Division VI school, but if you look at it, when you get about 55% down, and then you look at the rest of it, it just says OL next to everybody's name. Like every single player after that is offensive lineman, offensive lineman, offensive lineman, and it's rolling 20 guys deep who are offensive linemen and defensive linemen. And that's sometimes really hard to get kids to buy into. It's like you're going to play a position that you're not going to get a lot of glory. You're not going to get a lot of people bragging and talking about how good you play. You're never going to hear your name because you're not going to score touchdowns or whatever. But these guys are taking pride in what they're doing. And quite honestly, I have no doubt that behind closed doors, and again, I'm not here, I'm not in the locker room talking to them, but these receivers, these running backs, and this quarterback know that they've got it easy because they got guys up front who make it easy for them on really both sides of the football.
Yeah, no doubt about that, and they've plowed the road and executed very well so far through 2 quarters. Let's go ahead and touch on the first half stats real quick before we get to the third quarter.
Yeah, the Caldwell Redskins going with Gavin Lake. He's leading the team offensively. 7 carries, 17 yards. It's Aiden Bender, 2 carries, 4 yards. Gardner Gayos he's got a carry for no yards, and then it was Ethan Kroc, 7 carries, negative 10 yards. So there's their 17 carries, 11 yards rushing in the game. Throwing the ball, Kroc is 3 of 9 for 1 yard. He's got 2 completions to Gavin Leake. Those are for no yards. The other one, the Brody Chandler catch, that was for 1 yard. So they got 12 yards of offense. That's all they were able to do. Northmor, on the other hand, again, they're doing it any way they want to. It's Becker with 47 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Campbell's got 65 yards and a touchdown on the ground. Bauer's got another 15 yards rushing, so they got 127 yards on 19 carries, 3 touchdowns running. Bauer throwing the football almost perfect. 11 of 12, 182 yards, 3 touchdowns. 5 receptions for Jackson Wenger, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bo Landon, 4 catches, 1 touchdown, 87 yards. Cameron Goldbach's got a catch, so does Corwin Becker. They got 309 yards of offense at this point in time and just doing whatever they want.
An unbelievable first half by Northmor has the score, 42-0 here in week number 11 over the Caldwell Redskins. Halftime show and stats courtesy of our friends at Mizik Miller, the accounting professionals, and Matt and Ken at Ken's Standing Seam, the best roof you can buy. We'll be back for the third quarter right after this.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got 1 man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Seven FM and live online on the OH Report. Josh Stallings, Jeff Roberts with you here from Northmor High School. The Northmor Golden Knights will kick off to the Redskins to start this third quarter. We will have a running clock in effect. We'll see what, if any, changes could be made by Caldwell here to start this third quarter, if they can get anything going behind senior quarterback Kroc.
Well, I do think that, you know, for them, they're sort of kind of in a different game. I mean, they've only got 3 seniors on their roster. I mean, so at this point in time, Kroc being one of them. but they are really just sort of kind of in the mode of like, let's finish this out strong. This is a bad first half. When you're down 42-0 and the running clock hits, it's almost impossible to. I don't know if you can actually come back in a game like that. The clock was just going to move way too quickly. But ultimately, for them and for the coaching staff, they got to just say, let's play the best ball we can.
Bauer sends it deep. It's going to be grabbed by Chandler. Chandler sprinting upfield, gets to the 25-yard line, and that is where the Redskins will take over 1st and 10, and that's one of their better starting field positions of the day.
Right?
25.
Sad truth, but it is the truth nonetheless.
So first drive of the second half for Caldwell, and we're already down to about 11:20 to go in this third quarter as this clock will melt quickly.
Yep. And again, it'd be interesting to see, just like you said, the melting clock, but also just how long does Coach Armrose, keep these starters out there for Northmor? I assume they'll play through the third quarter, but will he keep them longer than that? Because you don't want them to get accustomed to only playing shortened games,
right.
Because sooner or later you're going to have to play, full games.
Croc's got split backs. He's going to hand off to Gatos.
Yep.
Garner looking right side, and he gets over the 25 and maybe a gain of a foot.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, they'll give him a yard.
Gatos,
up to the 26.
They got him listed as a tight end, but he's a 5'10", 155-pound freshman that they're bringing in. And quite honestly, I don't believe
a little timid running the ball there.
But I don't believe their positions anyway, because Ethan Kroc, their quarterback's listed as a tight end. I mean, they've got just guys it's almost like they just said, throw up there and put them as whatever they want. Kicker, I don't care.
Write your own height, weight.
Exactly.
2nd and 9, 10:15 to go here, third quarter. Kroc has the snap. He is going to run it right side, looking for a block on that corner. Kroc turns the corner up to the 35. He's got a first down. Good gain there. And that's one of their bigger plays of the night. It might be their biggest play of a gain of about 13.
Yeah, that was a very good run right there. He just kind of, it was short side of the field, and for us who are on the other side, we're looking long way here. It sort of was like, all right, well, he's going to just run out of space. He's going to get some yards here, but before he just runs out of real estate. But he did. He was able to turn upfield, and I think Northmor just kind of expected him to run out of bounds, and when he decided not to, some guys were blocked off, and ends up being a pretty good run.
1st and 10 at the 39. Redskins will shift the formation. Again, I think there's a little confusion going on. They're going to bunch trips to the left. Kroc has the snap. He's going to run it left. He's got a blocker out in front.
Not against
it's stretched
these guys.
out, and he's going to be dropped for a big loss back inside the 25 at the 23-yard line. And that was that corner coming up to make a big stop. It was Wanger and also Brady Carr.
Yeah, Brady Carr, that's what it was. I'll tell you right now, though, when you watch that play back, Goldblock is the one who makes that. Like, he blows that thing up.
It so far out.
And they kept throwing blockers at him. He got the lineman out of the way. He got a running back out of the way. And he just kept pushing into the backfield. It was an unbelievable defensive play. Kind of a textbook example. If somebody said to me, as a defensive end, how do you play a running play coming around the edge? I would say, watch this film.
Yeah.
Watch what he did on this play.
Outside arm straight.
Yep.
Weak arm. You're directing the blocker.
And it was every blocker. He got the first blocker off him. Another one came. He got him out of the way. He just couldn't do anything with him.
2nd and 15. Croc's going to hand off straight up the gut on an ISO. Nowhere to go.
Yep.
Again, that was Leak.
Maybe gets a yard on that one.
So another 3rd and long facing the Redskins. 8:15 to go here, third quarter on WQEL in the OH Report.
Hey,
break
this
the
is
huddle.
Ryan Concert from Pete's Cafe.
Oh.
Everyone's always claiming they.
My bad, John.
I got you. No, it's my bad. It's my. I got you. All right, go.
They're going to sprint 3 guys. Now they're going to change it up. They'll go doubles formation. Actually, the fullback, Owen Hunt's going to run off the field.
Yep.
Kroc wants to throw on 3rd and long. Has time, actually.
Good
Puts
arm.
a nice ball out there.
It's a nice one.
Throws it on the money. Caught at the 30-yard line. He goes down at the 21. Biggest play of the night. That was 12. Jonah Morocco. A beautiful throw from Kroc into double coverage, and Morocco pulls it down in traffic.
Yeah, but I'll say this. They gave him some great protection, and Kroc was able to just kind of settle in. and Morocco got behind the Northmor defense, and it was almost like after seeing the first half, the defensive backs were like, I don't know if he can throw it this far, and Croc made him pay for it because that was a perfectly thrown pass.
A beautiful spiral by Croc. He's got split backs behind him. He is going to hand off. Moving right side, and another big stick made on the ball carrier. Gatos, tackle made by 23. That's Carson Campbell. Look at those linebackers. We see the instant replay courtesy of the OH report. Yeah. Those linebackers are reading hats so well and flowing to the football. They're not stepping back. They're reading hats and attacking.
Absolutely. They're just, you know what, it's not just a reflection of just great talent. We've been talking about the talent. This is a super well-coached football team. I mean, these guys, you know, when you just see the technique in which they play, the way they tackle, the way they get off blocks, all the little details are there for Northmor. They're doing a really nice job across the board.
Empty backfield for Croc. 1st and 10. Ball at the 20. Croc has it. He is going to look to run it. Flush to the left side. Almost wrapped up in the backfield, able to stretch it for a yard.
Yep. Probably got 2 on it.
Will Naylor on the stop. And again, that's a play where Croc really wants to go right off that left tackle, but Northmor does such a nice job of turning blockers and clogging up those lanes that he's forced to flush it to the left, and then they just extend it, force him to the sideline, and nowhere to go.
The defensive ends, you can try to go off the tackle, but you got to get the defensive end out of the play, and they can't seem to do that. And then, you know, the linebackers and defensive backs are flowing to the ball well.
They're going to throw it, lobs it out. Pass is caught by Leak, but he's going to be hit and dropped in the backfield. Loss of 3 on that play.
Yep.
And that was, again, a timing thing. Croc's got to put that on a line. He can't lob that out there and make his guy jump in the backfield. He's got to put it on the line and hit him in stride so he can make a guy miss in the open field.
It's just too easy a play for good defenses to be able to cover. I mean, quite honestly, because the way, like you said, with the slow pass getting out there, and it is a forward pass, so they don't have to worry about anything else going. Now it's like everybody can just run to the ball as much as possible, and they're all sprinting to the football, and he doesn't even have the ball in his hands yet because, again, it's kind of lobbing up in the air.
Trips left on 4th and 10. They're going for it. Croc in the pocket, has time across the middle, and it's going to be almost intercepted.
Probably for the best.
But falls incomplete. And that was the big man, 68, Nick Armros. And Armros dropping back in coverage as a middle linebacker. He doesn't get a lot of those. But, man, even on 4th down, if he could pick that off, he wanted it.
He wanted it. But quite honestly, you know, he's going to go over and the coaches are going to be like, what? Like, what do you think you were going to take it back? You know, like, you were going to be at the 8-yard line. I mean, we got the ball at the 21. It's better. You know, it's 4th down there, so turnover on downs. And, again, that clock keeps running here, so we're at 4 minutes already. And, again, so they have an 8-minute drive, basically, but doesn't give them any pay dirt, and we'll see what Northmor responds with. I assume, you always assume at this situation that it could be just running, but they don't have to do that because the clock keeps running even if it's incomplete. So if they want to throw the football, they can.
Play clock's shut off now as Bauer is in the gun with trips to his right side, guy on his right hip. He is going to hand off. Campbell moving left side.
Oh,
up to the second level, breaks another tackle. Campbell still driving his feet up over the 45-yard line, down at the 46. Great run by Campbell. Once again, look at the seal block from the pulling guard, able to clear the road. That's senior captain Parker Harbolt, who pulled around from his tackle spot and just pushed that guy out of the way.
Yeah, it's the 3rd time that either Becker or Campbell have had a run where I thought the play was over, so I started looking down to write down some numbers, be like, about a 9-yard pickup, and I look up, and he's still running down the field. I'm like, all right, don't I feel silly?
Still trucking.
Unbelievable.
Trips right, back in the backfield with Bauer. They're going to melt a lot of this play clock down.
Yep.
Now he's going to hand off. Campbell looking to bounce. Not a lot of room, up over the 45. And maybe probably lost a yard on that one.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
That was Becker, actually.
They had him in the backfield, sort of dead to rights. And it was like, oh, man, he has nowhere to go. He's going to get hit for a 4-yard loss. But nobody could get their hands on him. So he was able to get it around and, mitigate the damage.
Becker joins Bauer in the backfield, this time on his right side. Lone receiver left. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Tight end also on the left side. Bauer letting that clock wind all the way down. We're at the 2-minute mark in the third. Calls for it, has it, gives to Becker. He's got 2 pullers in front. Becker over the 50, is at the 45 and goes down at the 40, the 45-yard line. Tripped up there, but another good gain by Becker. He'll be about a yard shy of a first down.
Yeah, get himself about 10. Again, lost the 1 yard on the previous carry, so he didn't quite get the first down, but 3rd down and 1 here for Northmor. And again, they're just, they're just running behind this big road grading line. And the whole thing about Becker and Campbell, it's like they run very patiently. They're not trying to explode beyond them. They're like, I'm just going to follow these guys and expect that they're not going to let these defenders get a handle on me. You know, I'm just going to stay behind them and let them push these guys down the field.
Minute 10 on the game clock. We are in the third quarter from Northmor. Northmor 42, Caldwell 0. Bauer has it at the 50 in the gun, going to hand off Becker. Patiently moving ahead, bounces off one, bounces off another, and then he's pushed forward down to the 36-yard line. First down for the Northmor Golden Knights, and Becker keeps the drive alive.
You know, he stops in the backfield because he didn't get the initial hole he wanted. And when you got 3rd and 1, most of the time you tell guys, it's like, look, just go. Just go. Get the 1 yard or whatever. But he stopped because he was like, oh, I don't like that. And then he just waited, looked, and he was like, oh, there's my hole. And then he takes off. And then it's like, oh, okay, now he's 5 yards downfield, and now he's pushing himself forward for an extra 3 on top of it. And just like that, the third quarter is over. Yeah. It's 12 minutes on the clock, 12 minutes on our clock. So
they're not going to make him run a play. Game clock and play clock were about the same, so they're going to send him to the sideline. That is the end of the third quarter here from Northmor. The Golden Knights 42 and the Caldwell Redskins 0.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Streaming live online on the OH.REPORT. Start of the fourth quarter, and we're already 4 seconds in. Northmor can melt 40 seconds off this clock before they even snap it, Jeff.
Yes,
we could be close to 11 minutes before Northmor even runs a play here to start this quarter. They lead 42-0, and looking at week number 12. Redskins showing blitz up the middle. He is going to hand off. This time carrying the football is 7. That's Rodney Accord. As we have some backups into the ball game now. Yep. At quarterback is 13, Tanner Miley.
Yeah, this is where I kind of assumed. I was like, probably the third quarter we're going to see some different, or fourth quarters we're going to see some new people come in, and that's exactly what it is. And Northmor is going to be in no rush on any one of these plays, but second teamers coming in get their opportunity here in a playoff game.
Remember, if you miss a game or coaches show, check out our podcast page at WQEL.com for past coaches shows, high school games, and, of course, the Friday Night Foam Board. That is WQEL.com under the podcast tab. 2nd and 6. Clock rolling at 10:45 in this fourth quarter. They're going to hand off again. This time moving left side is Accord.
Yep. Maybe got a
short
maybe
game.
a yard. I don't know. Pretty close.
Stay tuned. Davy Jones coming up in the Friday Night Foam Board. Again, all those local teams playing tonight. Marion Pleasant, Upper, Clear Fork and Ontario, Seneca East, Mohawk, all in action tonight, as well as Crestline, Cary. So a lot of MOAC, some N10 schools, of course the KMAC schools, and Davy Jones looking for all your scores inside the phone board coming up.
Oh,
hard count.
Jumped.
And
the lineman jumped, but the defensive line were coming across, but the offensive lineman started backing up.
they might have flinched.
We'll see who they end up finally calling it on. A lot of conversation about it. Did they draw him off? Did they, we'll see what they want to do here.
Both teams getting some of
they're
the
gonna say
backups and the younger guys
Northmor,
in. So it's
start
going to be
moving
a
back.
false start on Northmor. We'll back them up 5. Penalties few and far between for the Golden Knights tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Played a very clean game.
Well, there's their 5th for 40 yards, but quite honestly, the penalties haven't hurt them. It's no big deal. And quite honestly, like you got to look at it in a different way. If you're the coaching staff, when you're up 42-0, you can sort of kind of look at penalties as like, all right, well, they'll just eat more time off the clock.
Right.
I mean, because they don't stop it after, it doesn't matter.
And you commit a penalty, it's a coaching point on Saturday morning
Darn
because
right.
these young guys are still going to get coached up on Saturday in film. Shotgun snaps, he's going to fake it, wants to throw. Rolling right, looking directing traffic, going to throw it into the flat. Oh, wide open was the intended receiver. Tanner Miley put it just behind him. I think it was 22.
Yeah, we're going to get a good on the replay here. Again, I think you're right. I do think that was Fletcher.
Fletcher Gomp.
Yep. But Tanner Miley on the rollout. And, you can see he's learning from A.J. Bauer because he's on that rollout. And he's just pointing traffic down the field. He's like, no, go over there. Go right there. This is where I want you. I'm going to put the ball in your hands. And now they're actually, they're going to go for it here on a 4th down and 10 because why not?
They have it inside Caldwell territory at the 37. Play clock shut off, but rolling. There goes the hand of the official. Miley wants to throw. Looking left. Rolling left.
Nope.
Lets it fly and incomplete. Looking near side for Brad Bolin. Sailed a little too high, so that'll be a turnover on downs.
Yep. Caldwell will get the football back here. About a little under 8 minutes left on the clock.
They will not stop it here on change of possession.
Nope. And some of us in the world appreciate that.
We do. Davy Jones is one.
Yes, he does. Very much so.
Davy waiting back at station control to start another edition of the Friday night phone board.
Yeah.
Coming up. Oh, go ahead.
No,
Joe.
I was just going to say, yeah, it just turns into, if nobody is scoring, and with them not changing, they're stopping the clock and they change the possessions, literally they start with 12 minutes on the clock. It will be a 12-minute quarter.
Yep.
Like that's what we saw in the 3rd. And if
no
Caldwell,
injuries happen,
if Caldwell can't stop, if there's no injuries, like you said, nobody scores. If Caldwell doesn't score here, we'll see the same thing. It's basically a 25-minute, 25 second half.
In the gun, he has the snap. He's going to hand off, leak, bouncing,
Nope.
That was the
Gatos.
freshman Gatos.
Nice little run right there.
Gatos picks up about 9.
Yep.
Good carry for the freshman. Invaluable time here. Gatos is, he's definitely running the football against the best competition he has in his whole life.
No doubt about it.
And he's able to pick up 9 yards. The young man's got to feel pretty good about that.
And they call a timeout here because they heard what I said. So Caldwell
will take the first timeout of the second half. So we'll do the same. 6:34 to go in the ballgame here from Northmor. The Golden Knights 42, the Redskins 0.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Tomorrow, it is more Ohio State football. The number 3 ranked Penn State Nittany Lions will take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. We'll pick up the pregame at 10:30, kickoff at 12 right here on WQEL 92.7 FM. So out of the timeout, Caldwell will bring, looks like a couple new guys out onto the field.
Yeah, I heard, the Caldwell fans kind of gave the round of applause. So that was, we're going to bring out the seniors right now. So now everybody in the game for Caldwell is going to be, the underclassmen.
It looks like 33, Garner Gatos will be the quarterback.
He did the direct handoff and right up the middle for the first down.
Picks up just enough. Gets to the 49-yard line, needed the 48. So that'll move the sticks for the Redskins. And, if there's anything positive out of this for the Redskins, you get some young guys into a big game.
Sure.
Certainly this senior class wanted to repeat their run from last year, but making that jump from 7 to 6 is such a difference.
It is. I mean, it's a difference. And, and of course, they lost an all-Ohio quarterback, too, and some other really good players. And, injuries has crippled him. We're just looking at the roster that only has 20-something guys on it. And look at how many guys are just in street clothes. I mean, they got a guy in a sling. They got a guy whose leg is, all braced up. I mean, they're dealing with a lot this year. It's been a long season for them in terms of just things just not really flowing their way.
Another straight quarterback keeper by Gatos. Pickup of a yard up to the 50-yard line. Brought down by the center of that Northmor defense. Clock down to 5:05 in the ball game.
Yep, just got it just in the Northmor territory here.
Of course, stay tuned to WQEL and WQEL.com all week long. Dan Messerschmidt will be working feverishly throughout the night to figure out what the plan is for next week, where our coverage will be. And he'll have that posted ASAP on WQEL.com.
All you need to know is you'll know before we do.
You're not wrong. They're going to carry it again over the 50 this time. Once again, Gatos.
Yeah, maybe gets a yard there. I don't know if he got that.
Yep. So Northmor, with the win, will move on to Week 12, and they'll be hosting again.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep, it's kind of nice. I mean, that's the nice I mean, look, I don't know how many, coaches are loving the fact that now you got to play 6 games to win a state championship anymore. But, the extra week did add to 2 potential home games. So if you had a great regular season like Northmor did, the fans get some nice little advantage to watch a couple of playoff games on your home field. Don't have to travel very far.
Gatos with the snap. He's going to run right side this time. Looking for a block. Throws a stiff arm. Wrapped up and gang tackled at the 50. And on that was number 9, Brookston Beck.
Yep. And again, you could just see even the second teamers for Northmor just flow into the football. I mean, these guys, they're used to having to kind of compete at a pretty high level. You can imagine what the practices are like.
Yeah, they get beat up by this first team a lot.
To them, they're like, this is easy pickings compared to what we have to deal with during the week when I'm on scout team. So
you see senior quarterback Ethan Kroc on the sideline getting a little, consoled, getting a talking to from his coach. Hey, keep your head up. You guys had a great season for sure. And, a lot of guys, a lot of high school kids are watching football at home.
Yep, do the handoff, and that's going to be a big loss that will end up turning
Grandstaff.
Over. Yep, that was first handoff for him. Grandstaff, only a freshman, 5'6", 110 pounds, and that he looks every bit of it, and ends up probably losing 4 yards on that play and a turnover.
Turnover on downs. We'll give it back to Northmor. The clock will continue to roll here in the fourth quarter, down to 2:39. Josh Stillings, Jeff Roberts with you tonight on WQEL and live online on the OH Report. We certainly appreciate you joining us, and we hope you stay tuned as Davy Jones is coming up inside the Friday night phone board looking for scores and topics from around the world of sports.
Don't be surprised, by the way, if that is the last time we see the Caldwell offense. They're at 2:15 right now, and it just took them forever to even call in a play. Like, they're just like, you know what, even the officials are sort of like, take your time. Take your time.
Yeah. We'll see 2, maybe 3 plays from this Northmor offense, and that'll pretty much do it. And, Jeff, it's that time of year coming up on WQEL this week. It is Ohio State men's basketball on Monday. The Buckeyes take on Texas from Las Vegas. It is the Las Vegas shootout. Tip-off at 9:15 right here on WQEL. Miley is going to keep it on
Oh,
first down.
space.
He's got a lot of open space on that right side. Picks up a block, gets inside the 30, and he will go down and out of bounds at the 27-yard line.
Yep.
Good carry for Miley. And Miley, a good-sized sophomore, 5'10", 145 pounds, but looks like he can move with the football. He's got a decent arm. Northmor might be in pretty good space here moving
Well,
forward.
they list him as a wide receiver, so that means that he's somebody that they expect that maybe during games they might put him into plays. You know what I mean? He might be out there offensively a little bit, but, you know, second-team quarterback as well. And with 1 minute left on the clock, they're going to line up in the victory formation.
The second team will set up in the victory formation. Miley in the shotgun will take the snap, take a knee, and with 46 seconds on the clock, I can't imagine they'll make him snap one more.
That'd just be a cruel joke.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
nope, the officials will send him to the sideline, so that will do it. The final here in week number 11, week 1 of the playoffs here in 2024, I should say. It's Northmor 42, Caldwell 0. We'll be back with the post-game show right after this.
Hey there, folks. Fall is here, and so is the
All right.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, our caring professionals are ready to serve you with personally tailored services designed to meet the unique needs of each individual. When we take on a patient at Avita Home Health and Hospice, they really do feel like family. So when we take care of our family, we want to take care of the whole person. So we take care of them from our nurses, our aides, our physical, occupational, and speech therapists, but we also have people that tend to their hearts. So we have social workers, we have chaplains, and people that can help with the emotional side of their care.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, we have a dedicated team that takes care of you. Caring for the whole person is our promise to you. From social and emotional well-being to the way the patient relates to their loved ones, we treat your family like our family.
Serving patients and their families wherever they call home, including assisted living facilities and nursing homes. Call 1-800-4NURSES to see if Avita can help administer your plan of custom care.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more. Every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Let's go.
6275. That's 419-544-6275 for the last roof you will ever need. And Jeff, Northmor took a halftime lead of 42-0 into the break, and then that 25-minute second half ran by, like water. And they win it tonight with a final score of 42-0. And the Northmor Golden Knights were just unstoppable.
Yeah.
Offensive, defense, special teams, they dominated in all aspects of the game.
Quite honestly, at a certain level, you just look at it and say, how many teams across the state of Ohio, and I'm not saying that they don't exist, they do, but how many teams in the state of Ohio have the type of athletes that can match up against Northmor? It's just not very much. There's not a lot.
Not a lot.
Yes, exactly. Not at this level at Division 6. So when you see them tonight, I mean, this is a Caldwell team that made the playoffs. They went 5-5. They beat two teams, a team that's 8-2 that went 7-3. I mean, it's not like these guys are they're stiffs. They just they didn't look very good going against a Northmor team that almost everybody who's played him this year has struggled mightily, and there's very few teams that have been able to kind of figure out a way to match up with them, with their athletes on the outside, their size and strength up front. They're just really technically sound, they're fundamentally sound, and they're also just physically tough.
Absolutely, and they have a quarterback at A.J. Bauer who is not only a leader on he's not only a leader off the field, but you look at him and how he carries himself on the field, and he's just so calm and collective. And you get him in these, you put him in week number 11, a playoff situation. Yes, he's been here before, but he's still an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And he's so calm and cool, and he steps up and delivers. He's extremely efficient tonight. You'll touch on that here in just a second. But just a phenomenal performance by a senior.
Yeah, the easy pick for our Lewis Family McDonald's player of the game. And it's no disrespect to the other guys who played amazing tonight. Landon was great. Winger was great. The running backs, Becker and Campbell, incredible. The defensive linemen that we talked about, the offensive linemen, all of them. Incredible game, but Bauer was just his efficiency and just how calm he is when he plays. Like, just every aspect of what he's doing out there seems easy for him. It's always just simple. It's just like, okay, he's watching every step along the way, and he's just putting it together at such a high level right now. They're going to be a tough out for other teams in this playoffs, and that's going to be going. Moving forward here, it's not going to be easy to figure out a way to knock this Northmor team out.
Yeah, so congratulations to A.J. Bauer. He is our McDonald's Q92 player of the game. For his performance tonight, he'll get himself a Valley Meal of his choice, courtesy of the Lewis Family McDonald's of Bucyrus and Galleon. And joining us right now inside the postgame show is the man of the hour, senior quarterback A.J. Bauer. A.J., phenomenal performance tonight. We saw you back in week 1, and we knew then that you guys were going to be one of the better teams in the area, and we thought we'd see you in week 11. But it just looks like you guys have went above and beyond expectations as you come into the playoffs.
Oh yeah, for sure we have. Really put it together. I mean, sorry.
I'll get out of the shot.
Okay, so we've been just getting better every single week. I mean, every part of our team, like all 9 units of the team, 9 units strong. We're getting better. Played a complete game today.
Talk to me about the 9 units, because that's one thing I've never heard. 9 units, huh?
I think it's an Urban Meyer thing. It's like quarterback, wide receiver, running backs, tight ends, O-line, D-line.
Position groups?
Yep, and then special teams, DBs, and linebackers, so 9 units strong.
Well, you guys, all aspects of the game tonight, offense, defense, special teams, you dominated. You look at the your starting field position. I mean, you started most of your drives in their territory, so talk about what that, as the quarterback, how much pressure that takes off of you when your special teams can set you up like that.
It takes a lot of pressure off knowing that I can take a shot deep and be fine and punt it back to them inside the 10. And that has to do with our defense and our punt team and also our kickoff team.
You took a shot there, first play of the game. You guys lined up, came out on the field, and you wanted to huck it deep, set the tone. Is that really what you wanted to show right out of the gate?
Yeah, that was what we wanted. That wasn't the correct place we wanted to throw it, but they showed us a different look than we were expecting, so we took something else. And
yeah, I saw you kind of change the play there. I mean, I'm sure coming into tonight's game, you guys have maybe 5, 8, 10 plays lined up to start the game, but you came out on the field and you're looking to the sideline, you're checking automatically on the first play. So that's film, that's film study, that's recognizing a flaw in the defense.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we watched a lot of film and we were just waiting to see what they came out in, and then we decided what play we were going to run after that.
Another undefeated regular season this year. Going back to last year, you made a deep playoff run. I got to believe inside your guys' locker room and all summer long you were talking about unfinished business, and you want to get back to that regional final.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We want to get back there. I mean, we want to get back there to week 13 and win this time. It'd be awesome to do that.
Talk about the weapon. In Division 6, you guys are stacked offensively and really all across the board. But the weapons on the outside that you can throw to, and you have such faith in them out there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I got Jackson, Bo, Cameron, and Cohen. I even have Carson Campbell who can catch a swing pass out of the backfield. There's so many weapons across the board, and we can just use all of them in so many ways.
And yeah, you showed it tonight, how you can, come guys out of the backfield. You got the two-headed monster in the back, and it creates such havoc on the defense. I mean, you guys were finding spots all over the field.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, we don't have like a person we're worried about that can't perform, and just everybody can perform out there.
That's awesome, and that's certainly what you want to see going into Week 12. So what is the mindset going into Week 12? Just more unfinished business, come out, put the hammer down?
I mean, just treat it like every single week and come out strong and beat them early.
Absolutely. Congratulations, buddy, on the win, and we'll see you Week 12.
All right, thank you.
That's A.J. Bauer, starting quarterback and senior leader of this Northmor Golden Knights offense. Northmor is victorious tonight, 42-0, and they will be on the field coming up next week back here at Northmor, Jeff. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be back to wrap things up here inside the Ken Standings Team postgame show right after this.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
Streaming on the OH.REPORT. Northmor 42 and the Caldwell Redskins 0 tonight. Jeff, just a phenomenal performance on all facets of the game by the Northmor Golden Knights. You heard it by A.J. Bauer. Yeah. That kid's ready to go, and he's focused on one thing and one thing only, and that's getting back to the state.
You know what? We talked about how calm, cool, collected he was out there. He threw one incomplete pass tonight. Like, everything was just on point. But I don't know if you could tell for the people watching on the OH.REPORT. He came up here, and I know he didn't play the fourth quarter. He hadn't broken a sweat. Like, his hair was like, I was like, what's happening right now? I'm sweating more than he is.
I don't think anybody from from the Redskins touched him tonight.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think he was ever tackled.
I was just looking at him like, his hair looks no differently than it was when he got out. Like, he probably came out of the locker room. I'm like, if it wasn't for the helmet, it wouldn't have moved at all. So
Mama liked it. One less jersey to watch.
Darn right. Exactly. But, just a heck of a performance by all of Northmor tonight. And it's going to be an interesting road to see how things move forward for him, because we know that this is a team. We saw it, when we saw him week one. We were like, this team is going to be a tough out in the playoffs. They're off and rolling right now. The first game of the year in the playoffs went really smoothly for them here tonight. And, again, they're going to get some tougher competition moving forward, because that's just the way it goes. But still, I think that coaching staffs across the state in Division 6, and especially right now in Region 23, are looking at it going, not the type of team I really want to end up having to play.
No, absolutely not. Northmor could match up or have a rematch with Centerburg. They're playing Eastern right now. It is a 2-point game.
Yeah, 14-12, I think is our last score.
Northmor matched up with Centerburg in week 4. They beat them 34-26. So that was the closest game that Northmor has had this year.
Yeah.
So could see a rematch coming up in week number 12.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Looking at it, some quick final numbers here. Obviously, we want to congratulate A.J. Bauer, who is our Lewis Family McDonald's player of the game. Again, he was 11 of 12, 182 yards passing, the 3 touchdowns. They didn't really even do any offense in the second half. They didn't have to throw the ball anymore. It was Jax Wenger, 5 catches, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bo Landon, 4 catches, 87 yards, a touchdown. And then running the football, Cohen Becker, 11 carries, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns. Carson Campbell had a touchdown on 10 runs. And then he had 90 yards. So 198 yards on the ground, 182 yards in the air. 370 in total offense overall for Northmor. And on the flip side for Caldwell, ended up getting a little bit of movement going there in the second half, but not a whole heck of a lot. Because of a 44-yard pass that they had to Jonah Morocco, that got them some yardage overall in this game, because their total passing yards in the game ended up being 44 yards total. And then on the ground, they ran the ball 29 times, ended up with 32 yards rushing. So, I mean, basically 1 yard a carry. So again, in the end, only 76 yards of total offense in this one. A Northmor totally dominant performance. Interesting and excited to see how they do moving forward.
Stay tuned to WQEL, WQEL.com all week long, as Dan Messerschmidt will have our playoff coverage posted as soon as possible. Coming up again, that's on WQEL.com. And listen to 92.7 FM and AM 1540 and 107.5 WBCO for all of our upcoming playoff coverage. Of course, coming up tomorrow on WQEL, it is the Ohio State Buckeyes taking on the Penn State Nittany Lions. Another big one for Ryan Day and the Buckeyes. We'll pick up the pregame at 10:30. We'll have the kickoff at noon. And then on Monday, Ohio State men's basketball, tip-off at 9:15. They're taking on Texas. And then it is Ohio State women's on Tuesday night. So it might be playoff football time, but it's also college basketball right here on WQEL. So your full slate of sports coming up this week on 92.7 FM and WQEL.com. A big thank you to everybody here at Northmor High School, to Athletic Director Blade Tackett, to John Kreider back at Station Control, and to all of you, wherever it is you may be, however it is you're listening to WQEL and the OH Report. We certainly appreciate you. Stay tuned. Davy Jones coming up inside the Friday night phone board. For Jeff Roberts, I'm Josh Stallings saying good night and get home safe, everybody.